Hello, welcome back to Vertex LIVENODING. In this episode, I'm gonna share with you this Node 3 made using SphereChalk add-on, basically to colorize any kind of 3D objects for their vertex color, and it's gonna colorize it in like a gradient ramp kind of way. And so yeah, let's take a look. So basically here I started with Susan head and I subdivided it to get more resolutions or less resolutions. And then from the subdivided vector, I vector out the vector, and then I'm using some kind of ramp, and the ramp will be based on the position of the vertices in X and Y and in the Z. So I think that's actually what's going on. So if I plug in the X, you can see the color is kind of changing in a weird way. Currently, seems like it's not exactly what I want. Maybe I need to make some kind of adjustment. There we go. That's more correct. So that's in the X. If I change it to X, or in the Y directions, you can see the color is now in the Y directions, and the Z, same thing. So I think this is the correct one. And then what's going on here is that the value coming out, it's gonna be like in between minimum and maximum value, and then I normalize it into 0 and 1 value, and based on that 0 and 1 value, I'm using another map range node, and here I seem to be using some kind of a number between 0 and 30, and this number is gonna be used to generate this range float of value between 0 and 1, and I'm using it for color, for the hue of the color. That's why I'm getting this kind of a gradient color. I can of course randomize the color in a different way, like let's say I'm using random number generator, and I'm using this number to generate value between 0 and 1. This should give a more random kind of color. I can randomize the seed like that. And this is of course dependent on the resolution of Suzanne. If you want to have like a more divisions, you can add more subdivision if you want to have more stripes. I remember doing similar thing with a cycles material and color ramp, and this is kind of similar, except that we are doing it in the vertex level. So currently, it's, as a result of this color, I am really basically sorting the color based on the position of the vertex. And here I'm using this item for the color. So color goes in, and then it's gonna arrange the color based on this this mapping. So I thought this was kind of interesting, so I'm sharing it with you. There are actually many ways to do this kind of a stripy coloring. So again, this one will give you like a rainbow spectrum of color, and this one more random. If you use RGB, of course you're gonna get a different result. And furthermore, I think you can use not just Suzanne. Of course, you can use like all kind of different objects. Let's try the donut, for example. So torus donut, plug that in, and we need to have the edges and then the polygon data. There you go, we have like a stripy torus, and we can have increase the size not that big. Here we go. We have like stripe torus, and we can use this color HSV, and we get rainbow donuts. So yeah, I guess this is kind of interesting, and you can definitely use it to kind of use like a height map of some sort. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully this is useful. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.